dear friends, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing great. So, in today's class, we are going to start chapter number 2, Diversity in the Living World, for class 6th, booklet names Curiosity. Let's start with the second chapter. Here, the starting of this chapter is with a shlok. So, the meaning of the shlok given is: trees stand in the sun and give shade to others. Their fruits are also for others. Likewise, good people bear all hardship and bring welfare to others. They give to others whatever they have earned. So, here is a story. Basically a story. So let's find out what's about there. It is pleasant morning after yesterday's refreshing rain. Dr. Raghu and Maniram Chacha have been invited to the school by the science teacher Madam Sulekha to facilitate an exciting nature walk. Dr. Raghu is a scientist at the nearby research laboratory, and Maniram Chacha is an elderly person from a nearby community. Maniram Chacha is an expert in mimicking birds' calls. He is also brilliant at identifying a variety of plants and animals. So, एक सुहानी सी सुबह हुई थी कल की रिफ्रेशिंग रेन यानी कि कल की बारिश से डॉक्टर रघु और मनीराम चाचा को, जो उनकी साइंस टीचर थी मैडम सुलेखा, उन्होंने इनवाइट किया था स्कूल में। क्यों करा था? क्योंकि वो चाहती थी कि वो बच्चों के साथ फैसिलिटेट करें एक एक्साइटिंग नेचर वॉक पर। तो डॉक्टर रघु एक साइंटिस्ट हैं पास की एक रिसर्च लेबोरेटरी में, और मनीराम चाचा एक एल्डरली पर्सन यानी कि बूढ़े व्यक्ति हैं फ्रॉम अ नियर बाय कम्युनिटी। मनीराम चाचा एक्सपर्ट हैं बर्ड्स की आवाज़ निकालने में, and he is also brilliant at identifying यानी कि पहचानने के लिए variety of plants and animals. Okay. To prepare them for the nature walk, Dr. Raghu informs the students that the objective of this walk is to experience the beauty and variety of plants and animals in the nature. The students are excited to join them. They are curious to interact and learn from them. The teacher advises the students to carry a notebook, a pen, and a water bottle. So, to prepare the students for the nature walk, Dr. Raghu informs the students that the objective of this walk is to experience the beauty, यानी कि ये जो हम वो जो वॉक पर जाने वाले थे बच्चों के साथ, उसका मतलब ये था कि वो बच्चों को एनवायरनमेंट यानी नेचर की ब्यूटी यानी कि खूबसूरती और वहाँ की जो प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स की वैरायटी थी उससे उनको मिलाएं. द स्टूडेंट्स वर वेरी एक्साइटेड टू जॉइन देम. They were very curious to interact and learn from the nature and from Maniram Chacha and Dr. Raghu. The teacher advised the students to carry a notebook with them, a pen and a water bottle too. As they walk, they begin exploring the plants and animals around them. Dr. Raghu advises the students to notice the variety of smells in the park and emphasizes respecting all living creatures and observing them without disturbing. Maniram Chacha tells the students to not only observe different plants and animals, but also to carefully listen to different sounds. The students came across a variety of plants, including grasses, bushes, and large trees. They also observed a variety of birds sitting on the branches of the trees, butterflies moving from flowers to flower, and the monkeys jumping from one tree to another. They record their observations in their notebooks and discuss them with Dr. Raghu and Maniram Chacha. So, as they walked, they began exploring the plants and animals where they were. Dr. Raghu advised the students to notice the variety of smells in the park and respecting all the living creatures and to observe them without disturbing. Maniram Chacha told the students to not only observe different plants and animals but also to carefully listen to the different sounds the birds make. The students came across a variety of plants including grass, bushes, large trees, and much more. They also observed a variety of birds sitting on the branches of the trees, the butterflies which were moving from flower to flower, and the monkeys who were jumping from one tree to another. They recorded their observations in their notebook and discussed it with Dr. Raghu and Maniram Chacha. The students can hear the chirping of birds. Dr. Raghu informs them that each bird has a unique chirp. This is an example of diversity in nature. Dr. Raghu requests Maniram Chacha to mimic calls of some birds. Maniram Chacha mimics different bird calls. The students enthusiastically start copying him. Have you ever observed different plants and animals around you? Share and discuss your observations with your friends and teachers. So, the students heard a lot of chirping of birds और डॉक्टर रघु थे उन्होंने बताया बच्चों को कि जो हर बर्ड है हर एक बर्ड की यूनिक चर्पिंग की साउंड होती है. चर्प यानी कि बर्ड्स की आवाज़ को चर्प बोलते हैं. दिस इज़ एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी इन नेचर. डॉक्टर रघु रिक्वेस्टेड मनीराम चाचा टू मिमिक द कॉल्स ऑफ सम बर्ड्स. Maniram Chacha mimics the different bird calls and the students also started copying them. Have you ever observed different plants and animals around you? Share and discuss your observation with your friends and teachers. So here is a boy who is saying, "Wow, it is amazing how each bird has its own unique chirp." 2.1 Diversity in plants and animals around us. Let's see the activity 2.1. Let's explore and record. Plan for a nature walk with your teacher to a park or a nearby forest. While on the nature walk, observe different plants, insect, birds, and other animals. Also note the weather conditions, whether it's hot or cold, windy, and so on. Next, you can collect different types of fallen leaves or flowers and create a scrapbook. Take care of the plants and animals in nature. Ensure that you do not disturb the plant and animals in the park. Do not pluck leaves and flowers. Record your observations in the table 2.1 about the features of stems, leaves, flowers, and anything interesting in various plants. Some examples have been given for you in figure 2.1 and table 2.1. First A part is grass, tulsi or holly, basil, hibiscus or gudhal. So, example of different features of some plants. This is table 2.1, observation of different plants around us. So, here local name of plant is common grass. Their stem are soft and thin. Leaves or shape arrangement of leaves is a single leaf grows alternatively from different points on the stem. Flowers, any other observation in feature? Green leaves. So, let's fill this table. Moving further is, what similarities and differences did you find among the plants that you observed? You must have observed that plants have a variety of features such as tall, short, hard, soft stems. Second, different shapes of leaves and their arrangement on the stem or branches, flowers varying in color, shape, and scent. Now create a list of animals you observed during this walk or from your previous experiences. Record the places where they live, the food they eat, and the ways they move around in table 2.2. Some examples have been provided for you. Observations of different animals around us. Name of the animal: cow, place where they live, tree, food they eat, insects. The way they move around, fly and walk. Any other observation feature carrying a twig in its beak? Acha, that's crow, not cow. Then ant nest in soil and burrow. Food they eat leaves, seeds and insect. The way they move around by walking. They walk. Here will come walk. Here cow. Place they live. Cow may live in farms or in parks. So here I'm writing farm. Then food they eat grass and leaves. The way they move around, they walk. Okay. Any other observation and feature? They have 4 legs. Okay. Then any other, if you want to write any other animal, you may. Moving next. What are the similarities and differences among the animals that you have observed and recorded in table 2.2? You would have observed that some animals live on land while some others live on trees. Birds live on trees, fish live in water, and some animals like frogs live on land as well as in water. Animals also have a variety of foods they consume and movements they exhibit. Sketch the plants and animals observed by you in your notebook or prepare a scrapbook with leaves, flowers from different plants and feathers from animals. Write all the details you have gathered about them. While traveling to and from school, observe your surroundings and look out for a variety of plants and animals. Add the name of any plant or animal that you have not listed before in table 2.1 and 2.2. Activity 2.2. Let us appreciate. Close your eyes for 30 seconds and think of one plant and one animal that you have closely observed and have appreciated very much. Now, each one of you can draw the plant and an animal that you thought of on the blackboard. What are your observations about the various plants and animals that have been drawn? Have many different plants and animals did the entire class draw on the blackboard? Do you think that there may be many more varieties of plants and animals other than those drawn on the board? The variety of plants and animals found in a particular region contributes to biodiversity of the region. Each member in the biodiversity of a region has a different role to play. For example, trees provide food and shelter to some birds and other animals. Animals help in spreading seeds after eating fruits and so on. Can you think of more such examples? This shows that plants and animals are dependent on each other. 2.2. How to group plants and animals. Member in the biodiversity of a region has a different role to play. For example, trees provide food and shelter to some birds and other animals. Animals help in spreading seeds after eating fruits, and so on. Can you think of some such examples, more such examples? This shows that plants and animals are dependent on each other. Each member in the biodiversity of a region has a different role to play. For example, when the trees provide food and shelter to some birds and also other animals like sparrow, crow, cow, and much more. Animals help in spreading seeds after eating fruits. Can you think of some more examples? This shows that the plants and animals are dependent on each other. 2.2. How to group plants and animals. How would you arrange your books and notebooks in groups? Would arranging them in groups help you better organize your school bag? Now, let us look at the world around us. We are surrounded by a variety of plants and animals with different features about which you have learnt in section 2.1. We can group them based on similarities and differences among them. So, How would we arrange our notebooks and books in groups? Would arranging them in groups help better organize our school bag? So yes, organizing organizing our school bag, arranging the notebooks and books in group help uh, help us better organize our school bag. N- uh, Activity 2.3. Let us group. Collect pictures of various other plants and animals. Cut their pictures from old magazines, newspapers, charts, and other sources. Paste each of these pictures on a different card. Divide your class in group of 5 to 6 students each. Poll the cards prepared by the students in your group. Observe various features of plants and animals shown on the cards. Recall the features of plants and animals that you have listed in tables 2.1 and 2.2. Group them on the basis of common features. Share and discuss the basis of grouping you have made with other groups in your class. You will be surprised to see that the bases used by different groups may vary. What do you think are the reasons behind it? Different students might have chosen different common features for the grouping. For example, some students may have chosen the height of plants as the basis of grouping, while others might have chosen presence or absence of flowers as the basis for grouping of plants. So, you may have grouped animals based on the varied features such as what they eat, where they live, what color they are, and how they move. What is the importance of grouping? Grouping makes it easier to understand and study plants and animals on the basis of their similarities and differences. You'll learn more about the importance of grouping in our daily lives in the chapter Materials Around Us. 2.2 2.21. How to group plants. You must have noticed that plants show variation in the features related to stems, leaves, flowers, and more. The stems of different plants vary in thickness, height, and hardness, while the leaves vary in shape, color, size, and arrangement. You might have tried grouping the plants in Activity 2.3 using one of these features. You might have also learned in earlier classes that plants can be grouped into herbs, shrubs, and trees based on their height and types of stems. Let us study the features of plants in more detail and group them on that basis. Activity 2.4. Let us group. Let us go on a nature walk again for some more interesting observations. Look closely at the heights of different plants. Are these plants shorter than you, as tall as you, or taller than you? Is the stem brown or green? Touch and feel their stems and try to bend them gently. Can you bend the stem easily or is it stiff? Take care the stem does not break. Also observe from where the branches of the plants arise, whether they arise closer to the ground or higher up on the stem. Fill in your observations in table 2.3. A few examples are already given. Here, mango, tall, brown, hard, thick, closer to ground. So, mango, closer to ground. Is it closer to ground? Is it closer to ground? A mango. So, no. It is higher up on the stem and name of the plant group is tree. Rose here. Rose, height medium. Rose, height is medium. Green or brown? Brown. Tender or hard? Hard. Thick or thin? Thin. Closer to ground? Yes. Higher up on the stem? Yes. Name of the plant group shrub. Then tomato. short, green, tender, thin. So if we take another example, here the answer was no. Let's take another fourth one that we can take. Lemon. Let's suppose lemon. Here I'm writing Lemon, lemon. So is it short? Is about me. I'm just writing me. Then green or brown? So it is brown. Wait. Let me write here. This is lemon. L. I'm writing L, lemon. Then me. M for me. Then it's brown. Tender or hard? So it is hard. H. Thick or thin? It's thick. It's thin. Closer to ground? Yes. Higher up on the stem? No. And it is example of shrub. Okay. What differences do you observe among herbs, shrubs and trees? How can you group plants as herb, shrub and trees based on the data entered in the table 2.3? Some plants grow really tall and have hard, thick, brown and woody stems. Their branches typically start higher up on the stem and away from the ground. These plants are called trees. For example, a mango tree. Some plants are not as tall as trees. These plants often have many brown woody stems that start branching very closer to the ground. These stems are hard but not as thick as the stem of a tree. These plants are called shrubs. For example, a rose plant is a shrub. Some plants are typically small with soft and green stems. These are known as herbs. For example, a tomato plant is a herb. Some plants with weak stems need support to climb and grow and are called climbers. Some plants creep along the ground and are called creepers. The ones which creep are called creepers and the ones who climb are called climbers. Easy. What can be other feature on the basis of which you can grow group plants? Let us perform another activity. Activity 2.5. Let us compare. Look at the leaves of different plants collected by you during the nature walk. Do you notice the variation in the shape and structure of these leaves? You may observe thin lines on the leaves of the plants. These are veins. The pattern of veins on the leaves is called venation. What difference do you see in the veins of the leaf shown in figure? So, here suppose this is my leaf. Okay. So, when I am passing out these type of lines, these are called veins. These are veins. Okay. So, the pattern formed by these veins is called venation. What is it called? Venation. Next, in some leaves, you can observe a net-like pattern of veins on both sides of a thick middle vein. This pattern is called reticulate venation. For example, leaves of hibiscus exhibit reticulate venation. Figure 2.4a. In some leaves, you may observe that the veins run parallel. This pattern is called parallel venation. For example, the leaves of banana plants and grasses exhibit parallel venation. Figure 2.4b and figure 2.4c. Do you think that plants can be grouped on the basis of venation present in their leaves? So, If yes, write yes, or no, so write no. Now, let us try to explore roots of the plants. Do all plants have roots? Are these roots similar? So, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. All the plants have roots, but these roots are not similar. Activity 2.6. Let us find out. Visit an open area where wild herbs and grasses are growing. You may use small herbs for this exercise using a khurpi or trowel. Carefully dig out a few different herbs without damaging the roots. Do to do this, you may wet the soil and loosen it. Wash your roots with water and observe them. After you are done observing, make sure to replant the herbs so that they may continue to thrive and grow. So what you have to do is that you have to visit an open area where wild herbs grow. You may use small herbs for the exercise. So here's the sand. So here are few roots. What you have to do, using a khurpi khurpi is like a substance that is helpful in removing out something underground. So by using the khurpi, you have to carefully dig out a few different herbs. Like there are herbs, okay, just imagine these are herbs. Then for this, what you may do is that you may wet the soil by watering water on it. You may give water to them, and to lose it, just what you have to do is first just dig the soil, then water it on, then again dig the soil, water it on, dig the soil, water it on. Okay, then after doing the same process, what you have to do when you are done with the roots, what you have to do is that you have to take them out and you have to wash them, because they may be dirty as they were inside the soil. Okay, after you are done observing, make sure to replant the herbs so that they may continue to thrive and grow. So after washing them, what you have to do is that this was the ground we were on. Now this was a soil. Now here we dug. So you have to replant the herb that you took out. That was the activity. What are the similarities and differences in the roots of the plants collected by you? What differences do you see in the roots of plants shown in figure 2.5a and figure 2.5b? Observe carefully the roots of a mustard plant in figure 2.5a. The roots of this plant consist of one main root and small side roots arising from it. The main root is called the taproot. Another example of a plant having taproots is hibiscus, observed by you in the activity 2.1. The plant in figure 2.5b is a common grass plant. The roots of this plant appear as a bunch of similar sized thin roots arising from the base of the stem. Such roots are called fibrous roots. Figure 2.5b. Does your collection include any other grasses? What kind of roots do they have? Is there any relation between the type of leaf venation and the type of root of the same plant? How do we find this out? So, you have to observe the roots of a mustard plant as shown in figure 2.5a. This is a taproot system in the mustard plant. This is the taproot system in the mustard plant, and this is fibrous root system in the common grass. So what are fibrous roots? Fibrous roots are consisted of one main roots and many other growing from the side, and this taproot system in mustard. So the taproot consists of one main root, others growing from its own, from the main one. So this is taproot system, and this is a fibrous root system. This is a taproot system. Okay. So, after observing it, the roots of the plant consist of one main root and small side roots arising from it. As I told you, the roots of this plant consist of one main root, and small side roots arising from it. The main root is called the taproot. So, the main root here you can see. Let me zoom it. The main root you can see is called the taproot. It's the taproot. Okay. Coming back to our topic. Okay. Then another example of a plant having taproot is hibiscus. Okay. As we observed in the activity 2.1. The plant in figure 2.5b is a common grass plant. The roots of this plant appear as a bunch of similar sized thin roots arising from the base of the stem. Such roots are called fibrous roots. As I told you that it has one main root and the others are rising from the sides only. Okay, then we were on activity 2.7. Let us relate and analyze. Collect saplings of 5 common plants from your school, nursery or any other nurseries to plant in your school garden. Examples of such plants can include lemongrass, marigolds, sadabahar and others. Sadabahar is periwinkle. Then, before planting them, observe their roots and the venation in their leaves. So, when you have planted them, you have to observe their venation. So, just like here is a leaf. Suppose this is a leaf. Here is this type of venation is called parallel venation. What it's called? Parallel venation. Parallel, because they are parallel. And another type of, let me draw both the type of roots. So first one, as I told you, is this parallel. This is the parallel venation. Okay. And the second type is this is, and this type of venation is called reticulate venation. What is it called? Reticulate. Reticulate. Remember the spellings, okay? Let me write here. I'm writing here. Reticulate. Reticulate venation. Okay. So now, coming back to our textbook, we have another activity to do. As we have collected type of, so coming to this table, let's have examples like rose, maize, then we have one more, that is carrot. Okay. So rose have reticulate venation. So I'm writing reticulate venation. So if leaves have parallel venation, so they have fibrous root system, and if they have if they have parallel venation, so they have fibrous roots, and if they have parallel venation, so they have They have tap roots. So the rose plant have reticulate veneration of leaves, so it will have tap root. It will have tap root. Tap root. Then maize have parallel venation. So it type of root it will have is fibrous roots. Very good. Then carrot has reticulate venation. Reticulate, so it will be taproot. Okay. Then, do you observe any relation between the leaf venation and type of root in these plants? A Sadabahar plant has a taproot and its leaves have reticulate venation. Do other plants with reticulate venation have taproots too? Lemongrass, and on the other hand, has fibrous roots and its leaves have parallel venation. Do other plants with parallel venation have fibrous roots too? Generally, plants with reticulate venation have taproots, while those of parallel venation have fibrous roots, as I told you. Okay, so do you observe any relationship between the leaf venation and type of roots in these plants? So yes, they have a relation or a bonding between the leaf venation and type of roots. A Sadabahar plant has a taproot and its leaves have a reticulate venation, and the other plants with the reticulate venation have taproots too. So, do they have? Do they have? No. Then, lemongrass on the other hand has fibrous roots and its leaves have parallel venation. Which type of venation? Parallel venation. So, generally, plants with having reticulate, as I told you, I am again telling. If a plant with reticulate venation, you know, na? This is called reticulate venation. So, which type of root they have? They have which type of roots? Yes, they have taproot. Then, which type of roots they have? Which type of roots they have? Do you know? Yes, they have fibrous root system. Then, chickpea or chana is another example of a plant with taproots and reticulate venation in the leaves. What is an example of a plant with fibrous roots and parallel venation? Is there any relation among the seed of a plant type of root and leaf venation? Are all the seeds similar? Activity 2.8. Let us compare. Soak some chickpea and maize seeds in water for 2 or 3 days. Remove the seed coat of a chickpea. Now observe the structure of the chickpea and maize seeds. Are they similar or different? You will notice that chickpea seeds are split into 2 parts. Each part is called a cotyledon. Plants that have seeds with 2 cotyledons are called dicotyledons. Dicots. Maize has a single thin cotyledon. Plants with such seeds are called monocotyledons or monocots. What relation do you observe among leaf venation, root types, and the number of cotyledons in seeds of a plant? Dicot plants have reticulate venation and a taproot system, while monocot plants have parallel venation and a fibrous root system. You have learnt about some features used for grouping plants. Now let us explore the grouping of animals in more detail. 2.2. How to group plants. Just like plants, animals too are significantly different from one another. How can we group such a wide variety of animals? What features can you think of to group them? In activity 2.3, you have already set some bases for grouping animals. Let us explore a few of these in more detail. Activity 2.9. Let us find out. You have recorded the movement of a few animals in Table 2.2. You may have also observed how other animals move from place to place. Let us now think about the types of movements in animals. A number of animals are shown in Figure 2.7. You can add more animals that you may have observed and create a poster on the variety of animals. Which body parts are used by the animals in the poster you created and those in Figure 2.7 for movement? List these animals in Table 2.5. Note the ways in which these animals move and name the body parts used for the movement. Some examples are given in Table 2.5. So, ant, goat, pigeon, housefly, fish, any other. So, an ant walks with legs, type of movement. Goat walks and jumps, type of movement. Body part use, legs. What does an ant do? It walks. It walks. Fish swims. Fish swims. Let's take one more example of cow. Cow walks. Cow walks with legs. What conclusions can you draw from the data given in the table 2.5? Different animals have different type of movement. Animals can fly, run, crawl, walk, hop or jump and so on. These animals use different body parts for moving from one place to another. They may use wings, legs and other parts that help them to move. Here we have identified animals based on the type of movement and the body parts used for movements. How can we group animals based on their movements? Additionally, many animals differ from each other in shape, size, structure, color, or other features. Some of these features can also be used to group animals in various ways, like plants. Grouping of animals is important for understanding their diversity. Know a scientist, Janki Amal, 1897 to 1984, was an Indian botanist dedicated to environmental work and helped to document and preserve India's rich plant biodiversity. She played a key role in the Save Silent Valley movement as the head of the Botanical Survey of India. She initiated programs to document the plant diversity of India. Success story: Save Silent Valley movement. This is a real story of a forest in Palakkad district of Kerala. It is about preserving untouched beauty of a moist evergreen forest and its rich biodiversity. The now famous Silent Valley was saved by a remarkable movement led by common people who were not even residing in the vicinity of the forest. The battle against the proposal of a hydroelectric dam across the Kunthi Puza River persisted for 10 years. At that time, people used all possible available means such as widespread awareness programs, letters to editors, articles in newspaper, seminars and petitions and appeals in court. The movement was successful in saving the Silent Valley. Moving further, activity 2.10. Let us compare and analyze. Look at the table 2.6. Recreate a similar table on the backboard. List the names of plants and animals you or your classmates have observed in these regions or already know about. A few examples are given. You can add more. Camel, deodar tree. Camel on mountains, deodar tree. In ocean, fish. In the forest, lion. Any other? So in desert we have camel. On mountains, Then in oceans, in forests, you can locate as many as you want. So you can do as your homework. What are your observations regarding plants and animals found in various regions? Discuss your observations with your classmates. You might observe from table 2.6 that the plants and animals found in one kind of region are different from those found in other kinds of region. During a discussion in the classroom, Alex recalls that he observed cactus plant with thick and fleshy stems in the desert of Rajasthan. Maya shares that she saw deodar trees in the Himalayas of Himachal Pradesh. These trees are conical in shape and have flexible and sloping branches. Notice that these two types of plants found in different regions are different from each other. Oh. Why is it so? Why does the biodiversity of a region vary from that of another? Let us find out. There is a very little water available in the deserts. A hot desert is typically very hot during the day and very cold at night. Therefore, you will find plants and animals in these areas that can tolerate and survive both and the hot conditions during the day and cold conditions in night. The fleshy stems of plants found in the deserts can store water and help them tolerate the hot condition in these places. The mountains in extremely cold regions experience frequent snowfall in order to survive in such conditions. Some of the trees have the ability to let the snow slide off easily. Conical shape and sloping branches of deodar trees enable them to do so easily. You must have understood by now that the biodiversity varies from region to region because of diverse conditions. Look at the image of a camel from the hot desert of Rajasthan and a camel from the cold deserts of Ladakh. What are the differences you observe between them? What advantages do these differences provide to these camels? The camel in the hot desert can has long legs with wide hooves. Alex shared that his grandmother told him that the long legs and wide hooves help these camels to walk on the sandy deserts without sinking into the sand. On the other hand, the height and legs of the camels in a cold deserts are comparatively shorter than those found in the hot deserts. These short legs allow them to walk easily in the mountainous region. In deserts, food is not available easy. Camels store food in their humps. Camels in the hot desert have one hump each that helps them to survive during the scarcity of food. Camels in the cold desert have two lumps each. These two humps shrink in late winters because there is not much food available in the cold desert and they have to use food stored in their humps during that time. Moreover, they grow long hair from head to neck, which help them survive the cold winters of Ladakh. What other features can help camels to survive in the desert? Other students also start sharing their observations. Kashi from Rajasthan says that camels excrete small amount of urine. Their dung is dry and they do not sweat. As camels do not lose much water from their bodies, they can survive for many days without drinking water. Maya talks about seeing plants with beautiful bright flowers in the Shola forest of Nilgiris. Here, rhododendrons are of shorter height and have smaller leaves to survive through the heavy winds on mountain tops. However, Pema, who is from Sikkim, mentions that she has observed rhododendrons in the nearby mountains to be taller, so even plants such as rhododendrons have exhibit different features in different regions to survive the conditions of these regions. Sagar tells his classmates that he went to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands with his parents for a special event. He saw huge whales and colorful fish in the ocean. His father explained that the streamlined body of fishes make it easier for them to swim in water. We have learned that the plants and animals living in a particular region have special features that make them fit to survive there. The special features that enable plants and animals to survive in a particular region are called adaptations. The shape of the deodar tree and the height of the rhododendron are adaptations that enable them to survive in the mountainous region. The place where plants and animals live is called their habitat. For example, the habitat of sea turtle is the sea or the ocean. The habitat of a camel is the hot or the cold desert, and the habitat of a rhododendron is the mountains. The habitat of plants and animals provides them food, water, air, shelter, and other needs for their survival. Many types of plants and animals may share the same habitat. Habitat plays an important role in shaping the biodiversity of a region. Know a scientist. Salim Ali traveled across India to observe diversity in birds. He prepared a list of birds and documented their travel routes and habitats. He recorded the regions with high diversity of birds and took measures to conserve these regions. Kyolendo National Park in Bharatpur, Rajasthan, and Ranganathitu Bird Sanctuary in Madhya Karnataka are examples of regions he preserved. He wrote a landmark series of 10 books on birds of the Indian subcontinent. He is referred to as the Birdman of India. He was awarded Padma Vibhushan in 1976. What are the different ways you can group plants and animals based on their habitats? One way is to group them into those that live on land and those that live in water. The plants and animals that live on land are said to live in terrestrial habitats. Some examples of terrestrial habitats are the forests, deserts, grasslands, and mountains. The plants and animals that live in water are said to live in aquatic habitats. Some examples of aquatic habitats are ponds, lakes, rivers, and oceans. Some animals, such as frogs, can live in water as well as on land. These are called amphibians. What would happen if the habitat of a plant or an animal is damaged? What would happen if a goat does not get grass to eat? Can a fish survive without water? Again lost. Check with your partner, grandparents, and neighbors to know about the plants, birds, insect, or any other animal they used to see frequently in their childhood, but do not see as often now. These changes often happen when habitats are damaged. The damage to habitats of plants and animals results in loss of their homes, foods, and other resources. This leads to loss of biodiversity. The populations of Bengal tiger, cheetah, and great Indian bustard have declined in India due to loss of natural habitats caused by human activities. The government of India have initiated several projects to conserve our biodiversity. Project Tiger was initiated in the 1973 to protect the declining population of the Bengal tiger. The cheetah reintroduction project was initiated in the 2022 to restore the population of the cheetah. Similarly, habitats of the great Indian bustard have been declared as protected areas in the state of Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra. Traditionally protected forests, sacred groves, sacred groves or undisturbed patches of forests. Their sizes may vary from quite small to very large. Sacred groves are found all over India. They are home to different kinds of plants and animals, including numerous medical plants. These are protected by the local community, and no one is allowed to harm any animals and cut trees in these groves or disturb the area. This way, sacred groves are a community protected treasure of biodiversity. Find out about the sacred groves in your region. We must protect biodiversity to ensure that our planet is full of life, helping plants and animals to survive and thrive. Keywords: adaptation, monocot plants, amphibians, parallel venation, aquatic, reticulate venation, biodiversity, sacred groves, cotyledon, shrubs, dicot plants, taproots, fibrous root, terrestrial, habitat, tree, herbs, venation. Analyze, compare, create, explore, group, observe, record, and relate. So, summary: we are surrounded by a large variety of plants and animals. Such variety okay, here we were. So I'll just continue it afterwards. Let us enhance our learning. Here are two types of seeds. What differences do you find among roots and leaf venation of their plants? Wheat and kidney beans. Name of some animals are given below. Group them based on their habitats. Write the name of the aquatic animal in the area marked A and terrestrial animals in the area marked B. Enter the names of animals living in both habitats. Part C. Horse, dolphin, frog, sheep, crocodile, square, whale, earthworm, pigeon, tortoise. You have to fill them in the ABC circles. Manu's mother maintains a kitchen garden. One day she was digging out radish from the soil. She told Manu that radish is a kind of root. Examine a radish and write what type of root it is. What type of venation would you observe in the leaves of the radish plant? Next, learning further. Read about one Indian scientist or a wildlife biologist who is working towards the protection of India's biodiversity. Prepare a brief report. Explore the contributions of Divya Muddappa, Usha Lachunga, Ghazala Shapuddin, Nandini Velho, Vidya Atreya, Uma Ramakrishnan, and Divya Karnad towards biodiversity in India. Prepare a report of the work done by any three of them. Label the plants in your school with their local names with the help of your teacher or the gardener. List them in your notebook. Within the help of your teacher, plan a field visit on the nature walk. Record your observation. Prepare class biodiversity register by consulting the observation and notes of all the students taken during the field visit or nature walk. Find about Project Tiger and other similar projects initiated in India to protect our biodiversity. Prepare a presentation for your class. Divide your class into groups of 6 students each. Initiate a discussion in the class on how you can protect biodiversity around you. Prepare a group-wise report that includes suggestions given by the members of each group. Interact with elders in your family or neighborhood to find out various plants and animals that they see now but were not seen earlier, as vice versa. Collect pictures of these plants and animals and paste them in scrapbook. Find out more about them from your teacher. So that was all for today. Do let me know in the comment section below that this video was helpful to you all. So don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon if you like the video. Thanks for watching, and for more such videos keep watching.